During one of his rallies over this past weekend, Donald Trump decided to get into the Halloween spirit by invoking the horror franchise The Purge. In fact, Trump went as far as to suggest a Purge-like event here in the United States where we could just find all the people who were criminals, because they'd be out during this purge, and then just, kind of take care of them, I guess. And in case you doubt me, here he is talking about the Donald Trump purge if he gets back into office. Take a look.
Out that the 950 is a misnomer because you can steal whatever you want, you can go way above. But you'd see, originally you saw kids walk in with calculators. They were calculating. They didn't want to go over the $950. They're standing with calculators, adding it up. These are smart people. They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here, he's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, oh, please, don't touch them, let them rob your store. All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent, then the city doesn't have, it's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. It'll end immediately.
And, the purge in the movies is 12 hours. All crime is legal. But Donald Trump says we really just need an hour. It's just a real rough hour, he says. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pleasant. But for 1 hour, we're going to have a purge if Donald Trump becomes president. So that's that's something to look forward to or to be terrified of, depending on where you stand on the issue of crime, I guess. Here's the thing, though. It's not exactly clear from Donald Trump's comments, even when you view them in the larger picture of it, if he is talking about maybe his purge would let people get all the crime out of their system and then they'd be okay, or if we go out and purge all the people criming. So I don't really know how his purge works. He hasn't really fleshed it out. Like he said during the debate, he has concepts of a plan for his purge. It's just, he's got to get back to the drawing board a little bit before he lets everybody go out and commit whatever crimes that they want to commit. Now, he, of course, said this in the context of crime across the United States is going out of control, right? Just absolutely bonkers, crazy. He's told us literally that you cannot walk across the street without getting killed. And anybody who's crossed a street knows that that is not true. But he insists that crime is out of control. Statistics, on the other hand, are a funny thing, right? Because the statistics on crime across the United States show that for the last 2 years, crime has been dropping. Does that mean that crime doesn't exist? Absolutely not. But does it mean that it's anywhere near as bad as Donald Trump says? No. It is not anywhere close to what Donald Trump claims it to be. But the most important thing about all this, and unfortunately, I didn't see this mentioned in any of the articles that talked about Trump's purge. It's the fact that this man who's telling us how bad crime is, and we got to root out crime, get rid of all these bad crime people, he's a convicted felon. Donald Trump is a convicted felon, and holy hell, why are we not talking about that more? Every time Donald Trump talks about crime, any newspaper, any podcaster, YouTuber, influencer that covers what he said, if you're not mentioning that he is a convicted felon, then you're doing it wrong. And you are doing him a favor. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're not mentioning when he talks about crime that he himself is a convicted felon, then you are a failure. And I will call your ass out if I have to. But we're not going to sit here and be lectured about crime, one, by a man who's straight up lying to us about it, but two, by a man who is awaiting his criminal sentencing. Really? Like we're supposed to listen to the criminal about how bad crime is. Maybe within his own family, sure. But across the country, it's actually dropping. But, again, media fails us. Even independent media outlets are failing us on this issue. You can't talk about Trump talking about crime, if you're not going to just take one sentence and mention that, by the way, he was convicted of 34 felony accounts and he is still awaiting his criminal sentencing at the end of November. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.